with that idea. And we'll start with some fluid movements. So just circling on your hips, because yoga looks at both fluidity, which is like the water element, but also the earth. So that's more the still element. And we're bringing in these different qualities into the body. We have the air, which might be still this time of year. We've got the wind that flows. When it's windy, it's flowing. Let's take our arms out to the side and just kind of sway them like they are flowing either in water, maybe cool water. Now you can change your practice up. You don't have to follow the teacher to the T. You can make yoga, or I would venture any of these practices that you're doing any day of the week, into your own. You can vary it up. You can go a little faster. You can go a little slower. Let's take the arms and flow them up and circle them around. You can go and add more in, do a posture or a flow a little bit longer than the teacher, or maybe you take a break because your body's telling you to. So the beauty to these mind-body practices is that we're building the concept up. Here comes Oscar. Okay, Oscar, come on in. Come on. In you go. But you can't go in and out, Oscar. So we're building the concept of interoception. Yes, Oscar, I know. You're tired. It's been a very busy July 4th. Oscar was freaked out from all the fireworks. Let's go the other way. He and Felix were not very happy last night. They did well until last night, and all those fireworks going really freaked them out. I've never seen them go so long without going outside and go potty. And come back to center. Let's flow the right arm down and the left arm up for our side bend. Let's just say you want to stay in this side bend longer than I am. You could do that. We're building interoception, so that's the feeling that we get inside of ourselves. That's the feeling that, oh, I'm hungry, or, oh, I'm feeling a little stiff here, or I have to go to the bathroom, whatever, I have an itch. Then there's there's the awareness of what's going on outside of you, and that's the proprioception, what you feel, the noise from the outside. And for Oscar, it's like he feels the noise from the outside, and what does that do to his inside? Bring your palms down to heart center, flow the arms down, maybe come a little forward in the chair. Take the arms in a T and lift them, and then bring them towards heart center and lower down. Palms are forward and lifting palms upwards. Your gaze may start to follow your hands or not. And now let's take the arms down and bring the palms so they're facing each other back behind you. And lift your heart upwards, tone your belly as you pulse your arms. And then let's lift the arms up and curl in. Take your arms forward, curl in, gaze to your navel. And then inhale, lift it up. And exhale, take your palms back behind you, facing each other. So when we open like this, it's an external rotation. And then let's lift up and forward and curl in like the cat pose. So we're rounding our spine. Then we lift up and we pull the arms back behind us, palms facing each other. Feel your blades move in. One more time, round it up. Bring the palms forward. Curl your chin to your chest, lean back. Lift the arms skyward, and let's take a twist towards the right. And inhale it up and twist towards the left. This is a little harder with both arms. Let's bend them. So bend your elbows, and now take a twist towards your right. Palms pressing towards each other. head turning last. Inhale, center, exhale, other way. Now we could go faster with this. We could go like this and like this. You can do that. It's not a typical yoga move, but there is a type of yoga called Kundalini. Sometimes they're called the Kundalinis, but it's a type of yoga. I'm just trying to be a little funny there. But it's a highly respected practice by many, and they go a little bit faster. Come back to center, take your hands to the top of your shoulders and round your elbows. Your wings, your angel wings, take them forward and back and around and up and back and around, and then reverse it. Circling around and about. And you might hear some crunchies there. Now, Kundalini has this thing where they go like this and they go fairly fast, but you can vary this up. If you know you have injuries and you want to be more conscious, you're going to take a slower movement with it. This kind of reminds me of the chicken. And then I don't really like to whip my head around a lot because I'm sensitive in the neck, and you may feel the same way. So I don't recommend it, but we can kind of move this in different ways. So now we're swishing kind of like, it's a little bit of a twist. Arms in a wiper kind of movement, windshield wiper. They might start to be getting tired. Let's take the arms down and circle the shoulders around and about, and that should feel good. That should feel really nice. And then let's open up our legs. Oscar, I'm going to move a little bit over because, gee, I don't want to knock you. So now our knees are wide. And lift your heels upward, push down through the toes, pull the belly in and up, and exhale, slowly lower the heels down. Inhale, heels rise up. Now support your lower back by pulling your belly in and up and your ribs back. I got my hands here because I can feel it. This is this mind-body connection thing to really connect in and take the time. Exhale, lower the heels down. Inhale, they rise. Exhale, they lower. Now we certainly could go faster with this and have a faster movement, right, Oscar? I don't want to disturb your rest there. Let's keep the right knee bent and extend the left leg long. And you could start by even having the leg go forward and then circle it out. So you're making not even quite a quarter of a circle. Just kind of drag the heel forward and back and feel the stretch. And then let's open it up, push the heel down, maybe adjust yourself on the chair so you're comfortable, you feel safe. Lift tall, arms in T. Let's lengthen towards the right. So reach towards the right and then reach towards the left and towards the right. And towards the left and the right and the left, and come back to center, lifting palms skyward. Exhale, hands at heart center, open it up. We are now in a variation of Warrior Two. You can make adjustments. You do want your knee over your heel. You do want to feel a stretch, but if it's too much, bring it in. If you're not feeling enough, you can bring the heel out. You can also let the toes go down or up. Let's take a forearm to the thigh and circle our arm around and about. These fluid movements are really nice for me. I don't know, I was playing pickleball and I think I got a little injury. And so it's really nice to feel the stretch. And I noticed that around the injury, the body got a little bit more contracted. So it's really nice to get these stretches in. Plus it's warm out, and when it's warm out, people feel sometimes they can get more of a stretch in. Push down through your right foot and rise up. Bring the left heel under the knee. And then you're going to extend your left leg. Now, Oscar's kind of in my way here. I got to say, Oscar, you're a little bit in the way. So We're going to circle the leg forward and out to the side and back, forward and out to the side and forward. Notice how it's easy to fall back. And then find your way to what feels about right for you. Pull your ribs back, extend your arms, and reach to the left and then back towards the right. So it's back to this flowy movement. Now notice how the weight changes in your feet. This is something, if we were going super fast, we might not, the mind-body connection with breathing and moving, these are things we might notice a little bit more. As we reach to the left, we have more weight in our left foot. Come back to center, lift the arms skyward, exhale, hands at the heart. So this type of practice gives us the opportunity to really connect in. Heel is underneath, heels pressing down, toe pads are pressing down. Open up your arms into a T. And then let's flow it back and bring it forward. Forearm to thigh, circle the arm around and about, and notice where it feels tight, and notice where it feels a little bit more flexible. And then perhaps you bring it over the ear and stretch long. I like to push down my forearm into the thigh, gives a little bit of leverage, and then turn your bottom ribs. So the left ribs towards the sky. That's a little twist. Rise up and let's bring the feet back together again. And let's jump them open and let's bring them back in. Is this yoga? But inhale, bring it up. Exhale, bring it down. Inhale it up. Maybe exhale, bring it in. Not a rule here. If your breath is long, inhale it up, exhale, bring it in. You can use your hands on the side of the chair as well. We bring it open and we close it, and let's open it and take a block and place it in between our thighs. If you don't have a block, you can use books, or you could use, you don't necessarily need anything. I'm going to place the right hand on the block. And if you don't have a block, you could push your hand into your right inner thigh as well. So it would look like this, either this or this. Now the shoulder is going to come about over the wrist, but no forward. That's not great for the shoulders. So pull it back. That's another thing. In yoga, we can pay attention to alignment and how the body would be best optimally lined up. And bodies like that, it helps the energy flow more freely through the body. Let's lift the elbow and then reach the fingertips skyward. That's it. And then lower back down, just like you did. So pull it up, lift it, maybe gaze at your fingers, lower it, bring it down. So we could flow it like this a few times and really pay attention to the movement of your bones. So I'm noticing as the arm lifts, I feel the shoulder blades on the back. This is a twist, so we're getting some twisting in the abdomen, upper abdomen above the navel. And let's push down through our feet and rise up. And rise up. We're using our core there to lift back up. And let's do the other side. So either your arm is on the inside of the thigh like so, or hand is on the block. And we can open up the shoulder. So feel the right shoulder go up and back. Now we're going to release the fingertips down, lift the elbow up, and lift the fingertips towards the sky. Let's do that movement a few times. I want you to feel the shoulder blade. Like right now, the shoulder blade's probably off the back. Then we lift the elbow up. We start to feel it move onto the back. And then as we lift the arm and take the palm away from us, so the palm is pressing towards an imaginary wall up there, and then lower it down and inhale, lift it up and lift the palm, gaze at the fingertips, lean slightly back and lower it down. One more time, reach it up, push down through our feet, rise up. rise up. Here we are. Let's jump our feet back together and stretch out our legs. I'll turn to the side because I think it's better for your view if I turn to the side. So here we go. You can stay right where you're at. And we can flow this a bit too. So let's bring our heels forward, hold on to the side of the chair, and lift tall through the spine. Point the toes away, pull them towards you, heel is pressing down, point it away, and pull them towards you, and circle the ankles and spread your toes, reverse it, and then alternate. Pull the right toes towards you, point the left away, and then reverse it, and reverse it, and reverse it, and start to swing your arms opposite. That's it. See, you guys like these kind of flowing movements. And we are alternating one arm and then the other. And then take both hands to the side of the chair, push your heels down, lean slightly forward, draw your shoulder blades on your back, then lift up and lean back, and maybe take one or both arms up, come back upwards, lean forward, shoulder blades on the back. Notice I'm holding onto the side of the chair. The back of the neck stays long. I can feel my shoulder blades on the back, which is super nice. If you're feeling like you're balanced, you might take your hands to your hips and gently pull your elbows towards each other. Push down through the heels, inhale arms, rise up, and let's do some circular motions here. Heels are pushing down, toes are towards us, and we are circling around and about. And one more, and then lift high. And exhale, place the right foot and the left foot underneath your knee. Hands are going to come to your heart, and we're going to twist towards the right. Inhale back to center and twist towards the left. Back to center. Twist towards the right. That's it. Come back to center and twist towards the left. After all those barbecues and all that food and festivities, the twists are super important to get our abdominal organs moving. That's another thing about yoga is we're really trying, it's a whole body experience. We're trying to get into those nicks and crannies. Now notice I'm pressing my fingertips into each other, or you can press your palms into each other. Or some people like to push their knuckles into their bottom palm and then pull your shoulder back and lift your lower ribs. So that would be now the left ribs towards the right. Ooh, that feels good. It's a good twist. Maybe the arms open up wide, spread your fingers. All right, push down through your feet, rise up. I'm going to turn. You stay right where you're at. We're going to go to the left now. Palms are at the heart. We twist towards the left. Inhale, come back to center and back to that twist again. Now you decide, do you like your hands holding that ball of energy with the fingertips touching like so? Or do you like the fist going into the palm and pull that upper shoulder back and gaze towards the upper elbow or towards the sky? This is a nice intense twist, but if it's too much, back off. Don't twist quite so much. Maybe keep your hands one down and one at your hip, or maybe open up wide, spread your wings. I'm pushing my bottom arm into the outside of the left thigh. Pull the belly in and up. Beautiful. Let's come back to center. Rise up. Do a little bit of neck stretching before we start our standing poses. So sitting tall, draw the shoulders up and back. tip your right ear down towards your right shoulder. Feel that stretch, maybe gaze down. So chin's going to turn down and we're going to stretch a different part of the neck. Ooh, the longer we stay there, the more you might feel. Maybe you let your left arm go limp. Just let it go limp. Breathe in through the nose and out through the nose. And we're going to turn the chin down towards your chest. And now lift your head up and take the left ear towards the left shoulder. Release the right arm. Let it hang like a rag doll. Breathe in and breathe out. And just start to feel. So sometimes, this is the other thing about going slow for some of these stretches. We don't feel things right away. I'll have students say, I don't feel that stretch. But if we stay with it a little bit longer, sometimes it enters, gaze down. If you're in it for a bit and you don't notice any stretch, then you can take it a little bit further. Stretch a little bit more, gaze down. Feel that stretch. Then gaze back to neutral and lift your head back up. And notice how you feel now. Let's turn the head towards the right. And inhale back to center and gaze it towards the left. To center, bring your eyeballs up to noon and circle them around. We'll do that so clockwise a few times and then counterclockwise a few times while you're breathing. So look up, take it around towards 9, 6, and well, actually we're going clockwise first. So I'm doing the opposite for you. So it's noon, 3, 6, 9, back to noon. Do it again. 3, 6, 9, back up. Looking up, gazing down, gazing up, gazing down, up, down. Notice head is neutral, head is still. Come back to neutral. Let's gaze now. We're not moving the head. We're going to go from 3 o'clock to 9 o'clock. So right, left, right, left, right, left. Come back to center and let's do our counterclockwise. So midnight, 9, 6, 3, back to midnight, 9, 6, 3, back to midnight, and one more time. Look down, look up, and bring your nose back to center. All right, inhale, arms lift. Exhale, arms out to the side. Lower the arms down towards the earth. Inhale, lift your elbows up. Extend your arms. Reach out, lift up, hands to the heart. If you'd like to stand with us, now is the time. Placing the blocks and the straps to the side. And let's do our first wall dog. We're facing the chair. Take your time to get there. Feet are parallel. If we were moving really fast, which we could do, we could move really fast and move the legs up and down a few times. And this is actually a good exercise. So here we are going fast. And then go ahead and stop and look down and check out your feet. And you'll notice how you typically stand. It gives you an idea. So not that you always do that, but I can see that my right foot is turned out a little bit. So I'm going to bring it back in so it's parallel with the left. And it's just a little bit of information about how our stance tends to be when we're spending a little bit of time in mountain pose. We can feel our feet parallel. We can push down through our feet. We can feel the muscles hug on our leg bones, and we can feel our outer hips press in as we push our heels down. As you push your heels down, you might feel your pelvic floor lift and the core is engaging. We lift up and out of the waist, shoulders on the back. That's mountain pose. Now we're going to face the chair, and from mountain pose, we're going to go to wall dog. Hands come to the chair, feet still step back parallel, but you might step the feet a little bit wider to play with that and see how it is. And then we're going to bend the knees and angle the sit bones up towards the sky. And let's do a little bit of a water wheel here. So this is more the flowing movement. Hands are on the chair. Now you could hold on to the side of the chair. And we're taking our sitting bones back and up and leaning forward. And sitting bones up, lean forward, bend knees. It's a circular motion. You can't really do it wrong unless something hurts. Then it's wrong and you need to take a break. Let's push back. Knees bent, sitting bones upwards, ribs lifting, belly toning, hands pushing down into the chair, and feel your strength and feel the length you're creating through your body. You can straighten the legs as long as you're feeling a stretch through your spine and it's not too much. So we're going to feel a stretch in the back and also maybe through the back of the legs. If it's too much, keep your knees bent. This is not the yoga torture chamber. Let's walk our feet back towards the chair and take your time to feel. Take your time to feel. We're back towards our mountain pose. Our feet are parallel. Push down through our feet. Exhale, lower your arms by your side. You can have the chair on one side of you or the other. Some people have two chairs because that feels more supported. Maybe you've got something in front of you or back behind you, like the wall. We're going to inhale one or both arms up towards the sky. Exhale, arms out to the side, bend the knees. Release one or both hands down towards the earth. Lower the head, let it go. Maybe sway the head right and left. I always like that. It's a little bit of traction for the neck. So feel the muscles on the back of your scalp and your neck as you do a little bit of rolling to one side and then the other. And then inhale, one hand to the chair, one hand to your hip, or both hands to your hips. Lengthen your spine forward. Feel your shoulder blades come onto your back. The way to do that is take the shoulders towards your ears, roll them back and up towards the sky. Elbows are moving towards each other. It's not a squeezing though. Bending your knees, lifting your sitting bones up. Now we're going to push down through our feet. Feel the muscles tone. One or both arms lift up towards the sky. And hands at the heart. We can go a little faster or a little slower with this or vary it up. Inhale, one or both arms lift. Exhale, forward fold, one hand or both hands towards the earth, one on the chair. Release the head and the jaw. Inhale, look halfway up. This time, take one or both hands to your thighs. Draw the shoulders up and back. Push your sitting bones back, reach the crown of your head forward. Bend your knees, come into that chair that's not there. You can hold on to the chair that's to the side or not. Round your spine, chin to chest. Inhale, lift up, maybe one or both arms forward. Have a seat in that chair that's not there. Exhaling. Bring one hand back to the chair, release one hand down towards the earth or both hands down, pushing down through the feet. Inhale, one or both hands to your hips. Have a seat in that chair that's not there. Circle one or both arms up and forward. Oops, sitting bones back. Now, right arm forward, left arm back. Keep those sitting bones going straight back. Left arm forward, right arm back. Sitting bones straight back. Both arms forward. Ooh, push down, rise up. Hands at the heart. Nothing, like people don't necessarily like chair pose, but why do we do it? because it's strengthening us. It's a great pose for the spine, but it's definitely a core builder and a leg strengthener. Another example of a pose that not everybody really loves that pose. I don't know anybody who loves that pose. All right. Have a seat in the chair that's not there. Circle one or both arms up. One or both arms up. You might have one hand at the chair. Bring one or both hands to your thighs. Round your spine. Inhale, lift your heart, roll your shoulder blades back, keeping your knees bent. Oh yeah, we don't want to keep those knees bent. We want to straighten them, but we're strengthening our thighs. Exhale, round your spine, chin to chest, sitting bones back. Feel your shoulder blades spread. Inhale, heart forward, one or both arms lift. Let's come on up. And hands at the heart. Let's practice some heel lifts. Now, when we do the heel lifts, what I tend to see happen is this. People take their hips forward. So use this time to think about keeping your hips about centered over your heels, maybe center of your arch. If it goes more like that, when we're lifting our heels, then that's going to throw us off kilter. If we want to play with our balance, we've got to try to keep lifting skyward. Take one hand to the top of your head and feel the head rise up. Push down through your heels. As you push down through your toe pads and your heels, feel your hips engage. They're engaging. One or both hands on the chair, maybe one hand in front of you or up to the sky. And we're going to lift our heels up. I suggest keeping all fingertips down for now. Lift heels. Feel this. If you notice your hips are going forward, lower back down and lift back up. Pull the ribs back to the back of the shirt. So they're pressing to the back of the shirt. Then lift up onto your tippy toes. Push down through the big toe mound. Maybe lift one hand, maybe lift it skyward, maybe take the other one up, or maybe not, maybe alternate. Breathe in, breathe out, find a spot to stare at as you breathe in and you breathe out. Let's lower the heels down. Now, this is a motion that a lot of fascia experts say to do, is kind of jump up and down to keep the fluid moving in our fascia, the synovial fluid. So go for it. Do a little bit of this. They say a few minutes a day, but what if we just do it even for 30 seconds as we breathe? If you guys like to jump rope, you can do that. You can also step kind of, just do what feels good to you. And if maybe you'll like the yoga a little bit more, if you're one of those who doesn't like all the stillness, or we could say the static poses, to add in a little bit of this. All right. No, it's not typical yoga, but we can be eclectic about it. Let's walk back to our wall dog and breathe in and breathe out. And breath is in. And breath is out. I'm going to step the right foot forward and the left back and get a pyramid stretch here. So the left back foot is at about a 45-degree angle. And the front foot, toes are forward, big toe pushing down. For balance, you can widen your stance. Bring the right foot out to the right a little bit and the left to the left. Hands can be on the top of the chair or maybe the seat. And feel this nice stretch. Try to relax the shoulders, but pull the ribs up. So if we hang like a hammock, that does change the stretch a bit. We don't want to do that though. We want to lift up and then push down firmly through the feet. Pull the right hip slightly back and you'll feel a good little stretch in your right hip. And look halfway up. Lengthen your spine. Take one or both hands to the top of the chair if you've got the back of the chair in front of you. let's bend the front knee and bend and straighten it a few times. Bend and straighten. And then we're going to bend this front knee and step the back foot to meet the front. Let's do the other side. So now we're going to step the right leg back. The left leg is frontal. Make your adjustments with the width of your stance. See how these toes are turning in a little bit. That helps the balance. Some of you who are sailors might understand that whole rotor thing, right? Like it's helping us with the direction. Then place your hands on the chair, push your feet down, heels and toe pads, and you can bend your knees a little bit. They do not have to be fully straight. No, they don't. Lift the ribs. Try to bring your shoulder blades on your back. You can think of it like cat pose. Shoulder blades are protracting. In cow pose, shoulder blades are coming together. So if you round your spine, chin to chest, and you curl up, that shoulder blade's protracting. Here, shoulder blades coming towards each other. Let's lift our hands upwards and bend and straighten the front knee a few times. So knee is moving towards over heel, bending and straightening, and then we're going to bend this front knee and step the back foot to meet the front. Step the back foot to meet the front. Now I want to demo mindful walking, and you can do it with a cane or with a wall by your side. But the idea is that we're not trying to get anywhere, and that's kind of where the yoga is. It's really more about, they say, the journey rather than the destination. So the destination would be the pose. With walking, we're just going to go back and forth on our yoga mat. And so I've even got this chair here, so I'm not going to go very far, but it's okay. So with mindful walking, we're placing one heel down and then the heel ball toe. Now you can hold on to a wall or use a cane or use nothing, depending upon where you're at. You might have the cane like this, but it's heel, ball, toe, or use your cane like it's supposed to be used, heel, ball, toe as you shift. And the idea is to roll through your foot, feel the sensation of walking. Now, you could take this faster, but I find it a lot harder to focus on the sensation when we're walking super fast. So this is an opportunity. The body's still moving, and we're even paying attention as we turn the body. We turn ourselves around, and then we go the other way. So notice, where are we going? We're still on our yoga mat. We're paying attention to the lifting, shifting, and placing. So heel, ball, toe, or lifting, shifting, placing. You can vary it up. You want to keep your breath moving, lifting. There's a shift and there's a place, lifting, shifting, placing, rolling through the foot. This is a mindful walking meditation. It's not full stillness, but it is a mindful walking meditation. And a lot of people really like this instead of a seated meditation. Yoga's a moving meditation. And if we were doing it where we would be a constant flow. But the idea is it's the mind, body, breath connection. And that's what this practice is about. So I encourage you to practice some mindful walking. You can do it for 30 seconds. You can do it for a minute. Feel your feet. As you take a step, you feel this sensation. It's going all the way up the body. And you can let your arms swing. So consciously let them swing forward and back, or maybe one arm is swinging as one hand is on the wall. So mindful walking, mindful walking. All right. We'll come back to center and play with a little bit of balance poses. I'm going to turn the chair towards me and not knock Mr. Oscar. He is recovering from all those fireworks. Let's walk it back. We're in wall dog. And we're going to do a spinal balance variation. We're going to extend the right leg back so the toes are still touching. Now, you can make adjustments. You might step the left foot a little bit forward and bend that knee so that you feel a little bounciness. It gives you a little bit more movement, and you might lift the back leg and you might not. Now, this may be your spinal balance right here. You can take one arm up. That would be the opposite arm. And you can rest it on the chair or lift it, or maybe take it out to the side. You can point the toe, or you can flex and push the heel away. You can bend and straighten the leg. And then when you're ready, come on down, take a little break, and we'll do the other side. Now, this is a balance pose. You may be feeling some wobbling, too much wobbling, come out of it, maybe start again. We want to remember to breathe. We want to remember to find a spot to stare at. As we breathe, that's going to help. We want to keep the back of the neck long. Let's do the other side. Hands on the chair, bend the right knee, extend the left leg back. Toes are touching down or lifting, or maybe you just play with a little up and down. Inhale up, exhale down. Front knee is slightly bent. You can kind of play with it. We have a little buoyancy there going up and down. Then we find our stillness, pull our bellies in, gaze forward. That's going to keep our neck long. We're gazing forward, breathing in and out, toes up or down, and then the opposite arm is coming forward. It can rest on the chair or it can reach. You can bend and straighten that standing leg. Make sure that you feel supported through the foundational shoulder. You don't want to feel like it's moving inward. You want to feel an external rotation there. Breathe in and breathe out. And let's step that foot down. So I want to show you what I mean by external rotation. If you take both arms forward like this, and you turn them out like that, so fingertips are away, thumbs are upwards, that's an external rotation. This is an internal rotation. You're going to feel the shoulder blades come off the back. If we swish it this way, shoulder blades come on the back. So in and out. When we have our hand down on the chair, I do see a message coming in. And of course, I have to find my glasses or I won't be able to read it. And I don't know where they are. So if you want to unmute yourself and you want to say something, you can. But I don't see what I did with my glasses. So if you want to unmute, you can say it. And well, isn't it amazing? Where do these glasses go? Where do these glasses go? So if the hand is turned inward like that, the shoulder is going to go in. But if we turn the hand out like this, and the whole arm is turning outward, then that's an external rotation. The shoulder is going to like it a lot more. Let's try this with our hands. You can try it with your hands on the wall or with your hands on the chair. Maybe you'll see this better here. If my hands come in, that's an internal rotation. Some people feel their shoulder blades on their back here. I feel it more fingertips out, pushing into the chair or the wall. Now my shoulder blades are on the back. Then I can play with extending a leg. So it's the same thing at the wall or with the chair. And maybe the other one. A little bit harder to do spinal balance. We could do it like this though. That would be something you could do for spinal balance if you were doing it at the wall. But the idea is we're keeping those arms externally rotated. All right, let's do a lunge. Right foot's forward, left leg is back. Push down through the front foot, lifting the back heel. Let's move up and down a few times with that heel. lowering. Is it touching down? No. Lift it up and lower it. That would be a lot of range of motion for it to do that. Front knee is bent. Now, we're going to push down, keep the knee over the foot, and step the left foot to meet the right. Come on up. Let's reach our arm, one or both arms up towards the sky. In fact, let's take a side bend towards the right. One or both, maybe one hand is on a chair, or both arms are up. Take a nice side bend. Let's lift up. Let's do a side bend the other way. Yes. Feels really good. Stretches feel super good in the summer. I don't know, there's just something about it. Come on up. Release the arms down. Let's do the lunge on the other side. We start in mountain pose, feet are parallel, hands to the side of the chair or the seat of the chair. But see, when you hold on to the side of the chair, your arms, they do externally rotate. Now we're going to extend the right leg back. We're in our lunge. Knee comes over heel. Now we're going to lift the back heel and lower it a few times. And lift and lower and lift and lower and lift it up. And breathe in and breathe out. Try not to lean forward like that. And let's step the back foot to meet the front. We're going to do a few yoga push-ups here. So we're going to walk our feet back. Now this might be something we don't like, right? We're going to lean forward and then push back. So lean it forward, belly pulls in, sitting bones are angling downward, and stretch it back. Come on forward, take the ribs back. We could bend our elbows a little bit, but that's hard with holding onto the seat of the chair. We'd be better like this if we're going to bend the elbows. So here's what that looks like. Here's sitting bones back, our wall dog. Here we come forward towards a plank standing. Maybe bend the elbows a little bit. Keep the heart forward and the neck long, and then press back.
Am I doing anything similar to your movements?
You might want to mute yourself unless you want to give us a message here. Sitting bones back. Come on forward. Bend your elbows. Pull the belly in. Press down. Rise up. And let's find our way to the chair and have a seat. We'll do a few last stretches, a hip stretch, back of the leg stretch. You have your strap, bring it on over. Bring it on over, have a seat. Notice what it feels like to sit down after you've been working standing. Let's lift the right knee and place the ankle over the heel. If this is too much, then something like this might work. Feet on a few, foot on a few blocks. You can move the blocks out to the side a little bit. Some people are tight and they don't need no blocks, and do something like this. And they feel the hip opener. So we're gonna lift tall once we find our position and then lean forward. Lean forward. And feel the spine lengthen and the sitting bones move back and the ribs lift. You're making a diag with your spine. Like I was thinking about those sparklers, and you've got a sparkler coming out through your spine, a gold or colorful sparkler. And we're going to push down through the bottom foot and rise up. Release it. Let's do the other side. So this variation, maybe something like that, or something like this, or ankle over thigh, like this. Then we sit tall. We lean forward until we feel a stretch. Keep the spine long and the shoulder blades on the back. I always have to tell myself to take the ribs back and the sitting bones back. When you feel the stretch, stay. This is the stillness. Breathe in and breathe out. And breathe in and breathe out. And breathe in and breathe out. We're going to push down and rise up and release your foot. And let's do a stretch of the legs. Now, if you have a second chair, I highly recommend using it. Placing your foot on the other chair is a wonderful thing to do. If you don't, you won't. But if you do, go on and do it. I'll just show it both ways. If you don't have a chair, you're going to put your strap around your foot or your fingers underneath your thigh, and the foot won't rest on anything. But if your foot can rest on something in front of you, it's going to help you get a little bit more of a stretch. Because a lot of people like to stretch in this weather, let it happen. So we're going to stay in it a bit, and this is where the stillness comes in. And with mindfulness, I'm sure in Ed's new book on stillness, it talks about we're noting our thoughts. So we're breathing, and that might be our focus, the breathing. Now we want to keep our shoulders on our back. We only lean forward until we feel a stretch. If you feel a stretch here, you don't need to go forward. This is perfect. If you don't feel a stretch, lean a little bit forward. Try to keep your shoulders back. Breathe in and breathe out. And then while you're here, feel the stretch of breathing in and breathing out. And the stretch is going to be, I'm feeling it even in my foot and along the back of the leg. Maybe a little bit, you feel it in the spine. No pain. Sitting bones are moving back. Now you can play with pointing and flexing and pick a point that you like. Like if you want to point, that's fine. You also don't need the strap. When your foot is on something, you don't need the strap. You could have your hands resting on the chair in front of you. This is the stillness. Let's stay here for a few breaths. Notice your thoughts. Usually it's resistance, like get me out of this. If it's too much, you get to make a mindful decision. Should I stay here or should I get out of this stretch? Should I back off or should I go a little bit forward? So we use that acronym of stop. Stop, take a breath. That's the T. O is the observe, what's going on? And make a decision here. Should we stretch more or should we back off or should we stay right where we're at? The P is to proceed, to do what we decide mindfully. Let's come on down, take the foot down, maybe let your legs swish right and left. We'll do the other side. Here we go. So we're going to lift the leg, place it on the chair, or if you don't have a chair, that's okay. Interlace your fingers underneath the thigh, sit tall. Sit tall. The thing about relaxing it down is it's going to help it stretch a little bit more. We lift up and maybe we feel the stretch here. If we don't, we go a little bit more forward until we do. Hands can rest on your lap or on the chair in front of you. The goal, notice, is not to touch your toes. The goal is to be still, to feel this mind, body, breath connection. What's going on inside as you stretch? Notice your thoughts. Notice your emotions. Our emotions are highly tied to our heart and our breath and our nervous system. Breathe in and breathe out. The emotion can be frustration, or the emotion could be joy and happiness. Notice what it is. It doesn't, nothing is right or wrong. This isn't a judgment. This is just a noticing. And you can say something to yourself like, ooh, like I'm I'm motivated, or I'm frustrated. I want to be able to touch my toes. Notice whatever it is, or I really want to get out of this. When is this class over? Just notice. And then you get to make a decision as you observe these thoughts and emotions. You can make an adjustment. You can come out of it. So STOP, stop, take a breath, observe, proceed. Breathe in and breathe out. And then we'll come on out of that. Release it, let it go. Notice how your body feels now. We'll turn back forward, but this is a nice place to rest with both of your feet up on the chair, if you like that. Now, the stillness in yoga very often is either the meditation. You can do meditation for 30 seconds, and you can do it for a minute. You can do it for 3 minutes, or all the way up to 20. And that's something that you make your own practice. But for Shavasana, it's still like it is stillness in the body. In Shavasana, we're not really moving. So you pick a pose that's comfortable for you. Be lying down on your bed, be in the chair. It's one of the most important poses. It is a stillness pose. Your eyes may close. However, if you notice that you're not comfortable, you make a mindful decision to move. That's the mindfulness. That's where we take our stop, take a breath, observe, proceed. What are we doing proceeding in Shavasana? We're not moving very much. We're still in stillness, but we might decide that we need to lean forward or back, or maybe put a pillow under our knees, whatever it may be to make yourself comfortable to be still. So let's practice this stillness as we conclude our class. It's something you can play with when you're in bed, and you're just getting up, or you need just a little pause in your day. Some people call it the mindful minute. Breathe in and breathe out. We're not trying to change the breath, just notice it flowing. And we just did this hour-long practice. Notice how your body feels. Notice the energy in your body. Just notice it. We're not trying to judge it. And if thoughts start to come up, just note them. You could say something like thinking to yourself. And then another thought comes up and you say thinking again. Or maybe you feel a sensation in your body and you say to yourself, feeling. Maybe you hear a noise. I'm hearing Oscar. He's kind of breathing a little deep. You just say noise is present. You come back to focusing on your breath. So feel the sensation of stillness, of not moving, of just being. My teacher, John Kabat-Zinn, says we are human beings rather than human doings. So we're being in this pose, just as we are. And if you notice any judgment, you might say judgment is present. Any kind of judgment, we tend to do that. Part of the mindfulness is loving kindness and compassion, and that can take time to cultivate. And one way we can cultivate it is by sending gratitude to our body.
Thank you.
For this practice. Let's bring our hands in front of our heart as we breathe in and out and express gratitude for all that this practice brings on this 5th day of July. The benefits and the blessings. We express gratitude for our mind, our body, our spirit, and the beauty of the connection between them. Namaste, everyone. Have a wonderful July 5th. I'm here for any questions that you have.
Great job.
Everyone did wonderful.